Part of what goes on in science fiction and fantasy publishing is institutionalized discrimination against white males. That's something that's happening across the board, and it's going through publishing, it's going through conventions, it's going through everything that has to do with the part of the scene. They absolutely do not respect you if you are a white male, or even if you're a white woman for that matter, unless you're one of those white women leading the charge for non-white males. It's a very weird ecosystem that's developed here, and it's all about clout because none of these people actually make any money, which is what I'm going to be talking about today. This Dream Foundry website is a, quote, community sort of thing that was formed. It was kickstarted by one of the cultural gatekeepers. Her name was Annie Lay, back in the pandemic era, and it was supposed to like form this like community for the arts or whatever, but it's just another sort of gatekeeping thing where they're just trying to build their own little social structures within science fiction and fantasy, and not actually care about. Look at this, the Goldman Fund for Palestinians. Like what the heck's going on with this? Goldman Fund for Goldman's a Jewish name, which is pretty funny on that level. But this is what they do. Everything's about their little cloud structures and their little, of course, diversity hiring sort of things. And as I said, it's all about hating white people. Now, we've shown a very storied published author and her tweet a few years ago saying that white men cannot even get an agent. People don't even want to read books by them. And that's what's happening these days because they're just pushing that because all the publishers want is, own voices is what they call it. Own voices. It just doesn't make any sense, but whatever. And so they go out of their way to hire black people or Muslim people or LGBTQ women who are pretending to be men or whatever. And that's all they're trying to push out, especially in the fantasy and science fiction markets where they feel like they can do more damage in that level. And if you go to bookstores, that's like all you'll see. You'll just see like a bunch of like gay black dudes in this weird corporate style art on the covers making out. And it's like, okay, who actually wants to read this? Nobody. They don't at all. And so they have more to it than this. Of course, I've covered that Worldcon, the World Science Fiction Convention, has a whole 60-plus panels on diversity, equity, and inclusion in their convention. How fun that nobody goes to these panels. It's just the people who are on them and maybe 5 people in the room as they complain and have a struggle session about their identities. It's very, very weird stuff and has nothing to do with quality science fiction or fantasy. But Dream Foundry, like I said, got kickstarted. It's now got some further cultural gatekeepers involved in it. And of course, it's mostly comprised of women and minority women trying to just make their little clout structures again. And none of these people even sell 100 copies of their books for the most part. It's ridiculous. And so this is funded by different groups, of course, to keep it all going. Much like a lot of the institutions like Worldcon and like are funded. And I'm going to show you some of the institutionalized discrimination stuff they have in just a moment now that we've gone through this background. So please hit the like and subscribe button. Join us. I am a science fiction writer, and I've been doing things independently for a lot of years. I was one of the first people blacklisted and canceled from these groups, and they are very scared because I actually sell books. I do space opera. I do science fiction in a way that people actually resonate with when they read. And so, I do it without their permission, and that's what it comes down to. They want to hate people like us out of the industry who actually like books, who actually like heroes, who like aspirational situations, who look up and actually see beyond the horizons, which is what science fiction is supposed to do, give a sense of wonder to the world because they hate it. They want everybody to be brought down with them. Now, I'm doing this beautiful universe called the Arroz War, and it starts right here. Humans and Arrozians have a big conflict going on. The Arrozians are very mysterious, very insular, and the human is bringing back some information as he's spying on one of their starships and has been genetically modified to appear as one of them so that he can try to blend in. It becomes a very, very interesting deal over the whole trilogy. Builds up and, of course, pays off very, very well. That's what I'm very good at, is just sticking the landing on these books. So grab this. It starts with The Stars Entwined. It's in the description below, ebook, print, and audio. It's available on all 3. And I recommend getting the whole series, like I said. I'm building a new series called Valiant Frontiers, which is a space exploration series that dovetails right out of this. So it's a great time to get in. And sign up for my newsletter so you don't miss Valiant Frontiers as well. Thanks, guys. I'll get that link in the description below for you. So here's what's going on with this. This is their deal called Con or Bust, which is really funny because con, means like it's a con job, right? And that's exactly what this is. This is like some crazy con job. And you see what it is right here. It is institutionalized discrimination against white people, connecting creatives and fans of color within the community. Well, what's wrong? Why aren't white people invited to this? For many, the cost of participating in industry events are barriers. Let's help remove them. So this is the deal. And I've seen this before because Jason Sanford, who's a guy who got nominated for multiple Hugo Awards, cannot afford to go to Worldcon. He had to actually get a government grant to send him there because he doesn't make enough money in writing. It's all fake. These people, like I said, are just a clout system, and it's all about. None of these people are actual real professionals at the job. I'm much more of a professional than 99% of the people on panels at Worldcon this year. It's pretty crazy. So Dream Foundry's Connor Bus program makes direct cash grants to assist with travel, food registration, and other expenses attending industry events. Okay, so some people can't make it. That's it. If you're a creator or fan of color, wait a minute, you have to be black in order. This is institutionalized discrimination. What about poor white people? They're just not allowed? We have donated hotel and airline vouchers, convention memberships, non-cash. So all these people are giving away stuff, but it's only for black people. That's called discrimination. This shouldn't be legal or allowed at this point, and people should be speaking up against this kind of thing. It's pretty crazy that if you're black, you get to go for free. This is crazy. So here's your grant application, revealed on a rolling basis. Apply as early as you can. We make retroactive grants. Pretty wild. And they're promoting this right here. And here it is, the Goldman Fund. If you're Palestinian or identify as a member of a Palestinian diaspora, should I send it in an application? Just say I identify as a Palestinian. That's pretty funny. I mean, obviously, if I did it, they'd say it's terrible. But if somebody else just says that, they're gonna, depending on their identity, they're gonna act like it's okay for them to identify as a Palestinian, even if they're not. This is how ridiculous these people are. A larger grant from the Goldman Fund. So that's it. I mean, why? What is this about? What about being a Palestinian qualifies you more to attend a science fiction convention than anybody else? This doesn't make any sense. This is not a political convention. This is supposed to be about talking about new books and Star Trek and things like that. This has nothing to do with race, you'd think, but it has everything to do with these people. And again, there's these full-on grants that are discriminating against white people out there. That the publishing industry already discriminates against white people, especially men. And this is exactly what's going on across the board. These people are absolutely sick on every single level. And so you see what they actually push through these things, and it's always something that is going to be a crazy thing. And this came from 2023. Here it is: Palestinian creators. Why? £40,000. That's a lot of money. Just going to somebody, you say you're a Palestinian, you get a free ride. This is crazy. It has nothing to do with whether you have any sort of validity within science fiction or any sort of credentials that put you in there. It's all about that. Now, if you look at the writing contest judge, it's Sarah Gailey, and Sarah Gailey was a board member of SFWA, the Science Fiction Writers of America. So it is all tied in with that group, just making these little cloud structures. Then, of course, forming other social groups that you are joining in. And then, of course, using the conventions as sort of platforms. And what they do once they get to the conventions is they actually put in their bio, speaker on science fiction and fantasy topics. I've been on at Worldcon, right? And they actually act like it's a credential. I've spoken at San Diego Comic-Con and the like. I don't put that in my bio because, again, at the end of the day, what did you even speak on? What does it even mean, right? And so it's really stupid, but this is the entire situation of the convention circuit. This Dream Foundry, like I said, it's all tied in with the same Whisper network. It's all tied in with SFWA, Worldcon, and the like. And they're trying to build these cloud structures, again, but none of them have any readers. Nobody's actually reading their books. Nobody's actually paying attention to any of this stuff on the artistic level because they don't have any good artistry. They don't have any people who are actually building strange new worlds that are actually interesting. And so that's why they're failing despite all of this. So that's what's going on. I mean, again, nobody else is going to report on this or even take a look at it at this juncture, but there's a lot of this behind the scenes, and all these grants, there's government money involved, there's corporate money involved. You see this every time with these people. None of them are actually making an own living based on their own products because there's no merit here. It's really sad. Now, we have it, guys. We're the alternative to the mainstream science fiction industry. Thanks for getting in on us. The best is yet to come. This is the spot to start. The Stars Entwined. It's in the description below. Thanks for reading, guys. We'll be back soon.